Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to Coffee with Craig, where we talk about all things firearms, firearms policy, politics, culture, media, you name it. We're talking about it right here on Coffee with Craig. So please take a moment, like and share the program so that your friends can know exactly what's going on this morning. Also, please take a moment, if you haven't already done so, subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Facebook, and in both cases, make sure you hit the notification button. That way, you will know as soon as we go live, and you can participate in the live chat as the conversation is going on. Also, as usual, please visit fbcgear.com. That's fbcgear.com. All sorts of Pro 2A swag. New stuff is being uploaded on the regular. So even if you checked it out last week or the week before, you got to go back and check it out again and know that every penny that you spend goes right back into the fight for our right to keep and bear arms. So you can support Second Amendment and you can look good doing it. That's fbcgear.com. All right. You guys remember the Virginia Beach shooting. One of the things one of the reasons why I ask if you remember it, because you notice there's not a whole lot of reporting about it, or at least there's not a whole lot of new stuff afterwards. That was largely because the firearms that were used in Virginia Beach, they were not the firearm in particular that anti-gunners like to demonize when it comes to mass shootings, which, as we know, is the centerfire semi-automatic rifle, either AKs or ARs, but basically these bad, evil semi-automatic rifles that they call weapons of war. Now, once again, we all know they're designed specifically differently than those firearms that are utilized by our military, and specifically designed for civilian use, but we won't get into those arguments. What I wanted to talk with you about today is a new movement, and I want to say I call it a new movement only because I knew it was coming, and I think other folks knew it was coming, but it's really kind of starting to manifest now. It's really starting to become a thing. See, as you know, the firearms that were used in this particular shooting, they were semi-automatic handguns, right? We all know, first of all, just for those of you who don't know, if you're watching and you know nothing about guns and you almost never watch the show, but the title somehow caught your eye, understanding that semi-automatic means one trigger pull, one round comes out, right? That's pretty standard. A lot of people have no idea what semi-automatic means. That's why they come up with terms like fully semi-automatic, but I digress. But so these firearms, the firearms that were used were semi-automatic handguns, which, by the way, are largely different from semi-automatic long guns or rifles. Only in that they're smaller and they sometimes come in different calibers. But the point that I'm making here is that the semi-automatic mechanism is the same. And there's a group of folks now who have actually taken to the idea that, because they have the same mechanism, because they are also semi-automatic, guess what? Semi-automatic handguns should be banned too. That's right. You didn't expect. People are like, they'll never ban handguns. That'll never happen. Well, here we are. We know of folks. There was actually an article. It was a little ways back. It was in the Boston Globe. It was an opinion article that was written about banning the need to ban semi-automatic handguns because it uses the same evil mechanism as the semi-automatic rifle. Now, you say, right, yeah, yeah, sure, that'll happen. You're saying that'll never happen. Well, let's take a look at a place where it actually has happened, or at least where that movement, there's an actual movement that has taken place where they're actually looking to do that. And let's look no other place than Australia. There's an organization called Gun Control Australia. And as a big part of their efforts these days, one of the big things they're trying to do is to ban semi-automatic handguns. Now, we already know that they've banned semi-automatic long guns. So now they're going after handguns, right? Don't believe me? Check it out. This is one of their ads. This is one of the things that they push and they promote. They consider a sports pistol the same as a murder weapon. In other words, you notice that, once again, no difference between the two. Now, mind you, you can murder someone with a shotgun, or you can murder someone with a revolver, or even with a lever action rifle, right? But because their desire, because their goal is to, let's be clear, to ban all guns eventually, but they're doing it in an incremental approach. They've already got the semi-automatic long guns. Now they're going after the semi-automatic. Now they're going after any semi-automatic handguns, right? They're working now to ban those. And which, by the way, they're hard to get anyway in this state of in the nation of Australia. Sorry, confusing them with California. Anyway, but that's what's going on. But now you're saying, well, I cannot believe this. But okay, so fine. So what if they're successful at getting semi-automatic handguns? Well, do you think they're going to stop there? No, they are not. This right here is another piece that they're doing, another thing that they're working on, where they're actually trying to ban. This is called the Adler A110, right? It's a shotgun. It is a lever action shotgun. So they're almost trying to kill two birds with one stone. So they're trying to ban a shotgun, and they're trying to ban a lever action rifle. Folks, and I know this. Those of you who are watching who are part of the anti-gun, the gun control movement, the first thing you always argue whenever I start talking about slippery slopes, about where this stuff leads to, the first thing you always argue to me is, well, but that's not really legitimate. You can't really argue that. And my argument to you is, yes, I can. All you have to do is take a look. You guys can't help yourselves. Because with each generation, when I say generation, I mean one individual moves out of office, the next individual gets into office, and everyone thinks they need to one up the guy or the gal that was there before them. And so you never, ever stop. You continually try to push the envelope in order to take away our fundamental rights. Now, once again, we're talking about, if you start talking about banning handguns and shotguns and lever action rifles, you're talking about firearms that are safe and in common use. You're talking about violating the very definition of the Second Amendment as prescribed by Heller, where they talk about you cannot ban firearms that are safe and in common use. And these are firearms that are safe and they're in common use, and they're in millions of households across the country. But that's exactly what they're trying to do, and they're trying to use this as an example of why to do it. Because guess what? These semi-automatic handguns, yeah, these are probably the most, whether it's gun violence, not gun violence. Oh God, please forgive me for bringing that up. Anyway, but whether we're talking about suicides, or whether we're talking about guns used in crimes, handguns are by far preferable to criminals. But yet the only reason they haven't gone after them is because they know that it's not popular. They know that they can't get away with it at this time. But see, here's the thing they know. It's like a constant drip of water. And as long as they keep saying it, as long as they keep bringing it up, as long as they keep drumming it up, they believe that eventually they will wear people down. Because a lie told often enough can eventually become, in some people's minds, the truth. That's how we got to where we are right now when it comes to gun control in the United States. And if we are not careful, if we are not continually preaching the truth, well, then the lie will become the truth. And the truth will become policy that will take away our fundamental rights. And we cannot have that. Anyway, folks, that's going to be it for today's Coffee with Craig. We very much appreciate you guys tuning in. We appreciate you guys liking and sharing this program. Telling your friends about the Firearms Policy Coalition. We are the home in the fight for civil rights. Got to use them or you're going to lose them. You guys take care.
If you like our videos, follow, subscribe, like, and share.